every member of the opposition who belongs to the coalition is a member of the ADC. Are we stopping at that? No, the answer is no. The answer is that I had a committee with the mandate of the coalition to pursue the registration of AD. Now, if INEC had registered AD, we would probably not have bothered about going to ADC. So it's INEC that is frustrating the political space is closed for the benefit of APC. You know, I come to say that the INEC chairman is not ashamed.
How do you mean? Because today they publish the procedure of registration.
Other procedure, most of them have been complied with. In fact, what is holding the ADA for now is that we are yet to bring the address of our offices and the officers of the party. That will submit.
But why do you say that they are blocking it?
Okay, but
you have not completed.
No, there are others that are completed. It's a 101. I can tell you before. The ADA is a new thing. There were others that I don't want to call the other parties that had gone ahead for registration, and INEC just ignored it completely. Some their rents have expired. So the chairman of INEC is deliberately doing that so that there will be nobody fighting APC. And they're not even ashamed that after they organized the worst election. I will be ashamed.
Which election is that?
The last presidential election, the last election, the 2023 election. And the way things are going, I doubt that if we're not careful, if Nigerians don't stand up, because Nigerians, what ADC will do, and I said that all of us will do that, is to mobilize Nigerians to rise, to vote, and to stop these people from rigging, including the INEC. Because those who constitute this rigging machine are not up to 10, in fact, 2% of the population. The rest, 98, must get up and stop them. Because if not, you start crying again. No, why I laugh? When people were voting in Lagos, some of them were voting, this is my brother. Now, the market has no brother or sister. The market only recognizes one thing.
2027 will be Nigeria versus the APC and INEC. 2027, as I've often said on this channel, will be for the fight of the soul of our country, Nigeria. 2027, the machinery of rigging is already in place. The template David Undanyi told us is the Edo State template. Because when you have the same INEC chairman who organized the worst election we've ever had in Nigeria, he's still the chairman of INEC till today. And every off-cycle election that he organized was plagued with rigging, especially the Edo State one. Open and blatant rigging, and they called it a free and fair election. And they're taking that same template across the entire nation. When you have that kind of an electoral umpire who's working against the nation, becoming a roadblock, making it difficult for other political parties, to have a level playing ground so that they can contest for elections, because election is about a contestation of ideas. Being able to sway the people so that they can vote for you, not one where you deliberately destroy the system just to favor one person. But don't you think how funny it is? How the same people who fought and sustained the system of corruption are the same one crying foul today, trying to say they are fighting for the emancipation of Nigerians from the hands of political riggers and corrupt politicians. Amaechi was part of PDP. It was part of the same old APC. It was sat there in the same administration under President Buhari as they destroyed the country. Amaechi was part of it. He didn't complain about the destruction. Now he's talking about Bola Tinubu's one. Amaechi was there when the 2023 election happened. He should have just come out to say at that time the election was flawed, as everyone knew for all of those people who celebrated that Bola Tinubu won, and they were dancing as he was dancing, including El Rufai. And now they're coming to say, no, they brought in this evil. You knew this was evil before. You knew what was going to happen. You knew when Nigerians were telling you people that this man would destroy the nation. I've said this before in my previous videos. I said it for the ambition of one man, he would destroy the nation for his ambition, just to fulfill his own personal ambition of just becoming president. It doesn't matter what institution he brings down. Imagine the way he became the president. Imagine the way they destroyed the constitution just to make him a president. Imagine the way the National Assembly is currently run right now. Imagine the overtaking of states, ignoring the constitution. Imagine how the INEC chairman and the electoral body is playing alongside the APC, just to make sure that nobody has another say, just to make havoc in other political parties. So we don't have a proper political democratic system. Imagine that. For the ambition of one person, something is really wrong with our politicians. You have to admit it somewhere, somehow. Something is wrong with our politicians. It takes somebody you have to be dead to the soul to steal so much, destroy the country where you will call home, where when you die, they will bury you there, where your children will call home, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren. You have to have, giving up in your soul to destroy the nation to the point where it doesn't matter anymore to you, just to fulfill the ambition of one person. This thing pains me in my heart as I'm talking to you about it. Because INEC has become an opposition to Nigeria and a better Nigeria. If you have been given a task to organize election, make sure it is fair and simple. You go abroad, you go to England, you go to America, you go to other nations where they organize elections. You see how it is done. How do you go out, organize a very terrible election, and still go among your counterpart and think that you have a standing? Something is deliberately wrong with our nation and our political leaders. So I asked the question, do you not find it quite amusing? The same people who benefited from the corrupt system are now complaining about riggers. Indeed, 2027 is the fight for the soul of our country. We have to make sure we continue to sensitize others. We continue to talk and then make sure people understand the importance of not selling your vote. Make sure you understand the reason why you must vote and then go out and defend your vote. Because if you don't do that, the alternative is another year or 4 years of suffering. And then they'll pass the baton to somebody else who will even make life more difficult for us. Look at the corruption that is going on across the entire state, across the entire country. So you might want to just admit that the INEC chairman is not ashamed, like Rotimi Amaechi said it. Because you cannot wake up and still be normal when you see what you've done, what you've contributed to, and still feel like you have time to redeem yourself. No, there's no time. You've messed it all up already. It's about time for you to pack your bag and say, no, go away. I can't do it anymore. I don't know whether or not they're holding something against him. That's why it's working against Nigeria. But that thing will always continue to be held against him if it doesn't, find its way out of it. So Nigerians, the rigging machine is already in place. David Undenyi already told us. The template is the Edo State template. They will take that across board. That's why they're forcing governors to defect, so that it will make it easier to make them say that Nigerians voted for them across the nation because their governors defected. That's all there is about it. That's the entire story. They force the governors to defect. They will now rig the state and say the APC won across board, because that's exactly what PDP used to do back then. So they're just taking the template and rewriting it and even making it more blatant, because they don't need to hide it anymore. What's the consequence? The judiciary is already corrupt. The judiciary is part of this entire corrupt system. They rigged the election. They have the judges already set. The judges look at the evidence and say there's nothing to see here and certify the rigged election. That's the script. And during the election period, they bring thugs, area boys, and give them machetes, and then they cause havoc during the election period. That's the script. It's what we need to fight against. That's why we need to keep sensitizing others to let them know why they should not sell their vote. Because every time you sell your vote, you imprison yourself for long as well. You cannot afford to do that. You have to vote for somebody look at their policies, look at somebody with policy, ideas, because democracy is about an experience, an exchange of ideas, a deliberation over which idea is better, which policy is better, and how they will accomplish those policies to make lives better for the people. So how come our one has become one of do or die, where politicians only see politics and political offices as a place of enriching themselves? Why? Something is deliberately wrong. Something certainly is wrong with our politicians. Something is wrong with them. Somebody needs to help us figure it out. How come we've become a nation that is so dead to good things and alive to things that would destroy the nation? And we have politicians who work in a country where they've destroyed and they call it their own home, a country where their children will call a place a home. How can somebody be so callous to steal so much from your own country, from your own people, and still feel that you're still a person? Something is wrong. I don't know what it is, but something wrong. So you can help us in the comment section. Let us know what you think. But don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And also, we have to continue to sensitize more people. But remember, subscribe and also recommend this channel to others. I will catch up in the next video. God bless you. Bye-bye for now.